Welcome to Married to Movies. Industry insiders John Russell and Tracy Kring live and work happily in cinematrimony. They're sharing behind-the-scenes adventures of writing, producing, and appreciating films.
Good evening, babe.
Good evening, babe. Where are we? What is going on? What the hell is happening?
We're at the drive-in, and it is too damn frustrating to do this podcast from the car.
This was an insane idea, but we did not give up.
Well, I'm not going to give up.
Maybe we should have given up. Maybe that was what we should have done.
No, I'm going to give it. I'm going to get it done.
This is the first night that the Warwick Drive-In is open, and what are we going to see?
The devil.
We're going to see the devil.
I don't remember talking to the devil.
No.
Late Night with the Devil.
Yes, there, you got it.
Late Night with the Devil.
Late Night with the Devil.
The Omen First Blood.
The First Omen.
The First Omen.
The First Omen.
Watching The First Omen now, I don't know if it deserves the scariest movie title.
No.
But it's psychological.
It's a great story.
It's a good story.
And David Warner, who I love.
Yeah. Is he the one who gets cut by the big glass?
Yes, David Warner.
Hey, whatever happened to that kid who played Damien? I don't know. Was he in anything else?
Was he any good, though?
No, he was terrible.
Yeah, exactly. So,
and then there
that's
was
why
a
I probably
remake
didn't
of
have
The Omen.
Yeah.
With Julia Stiles.
Ooh, not good. Julia Stiles.
Stiles pretty much ruined one whole season of Dexter.
I think Dexter, was ruined by other things besides Julia Stiles. That show got progressively worse.
It's just always strange to me that we would do something like this and look this ridiculous in the car, and anybody walking by.
It doesn't matter.
They don't care.
No, Late Night with the Devil has gotten some really, really great reviews. I think it has like a 93% Rotten Tomato. And it's one of those movies that I've heard about for a long time, so I'm very excited to see it. And I think seeing it at a drive-in is the perfect place to do it.
I never remember a movie I watched at the drive-in.
It doesn't make the same impression. It's not as loud. You're not as close. That's what I'm thinking. But I'm hoping for some scariness. And I've also heard that The First Omen is really good too. Oh, wait, you're already yawning. You're already yawning. How is that even possible?
I'm yawning because you got a nap
How
and I did not.
How in God's name are we supposed to get through this movie if you're already yawning?
I hope it's scary because otherwise it's going to put me to sleep.
Yeah, that's true.
The one time we saw it here.
Yes.
And they had the clown walking around outside.
That was super
balloons.
Cool. Yeah.
That was scary.
That was fun.
That was cool.
There was an earthquake.
There was an earthquake.
There was an earthquake, folks.
It was very weird. I was talking to my mom, and then all of a sudden the windows were shaking, and I was like,
yes.
What is this?
It reminded me of that scene in Seven when their house just starts shaking.
I kind of wondered, did I do something wrong?
Wait a minute. The house starts shaking, and your immediate thought is, what did I do to cause this?
No. It's like I thought about God punishment.
Yes.
Isn't that weird though? That religious training.
It is.
It's immediately
it is. That guilt is so ingrained in us.
So deep.
And
exactly. I also thought it was the end of the world.
Right.
Is there enough oxygen in this cabin?
Maybe I go. Breathe! Oh my God.
It's not like I'm
How old are you? You need a nap. You needed a nap before you needed a nappy poo before we did this movie.
It's doggy
time. It's time to go night.
It's time to go night now.
They need a pillow.
I had a notion when I woke up this morning, and I shared it with you.
I could act like I remembered. Yes, of course, that notion that you shared with me. Of course. I've been thinking about it all day.
I don't think you listened at all.
I was praying about it. What is that notion?
I woke up thinking about when you say about someone, they don't practice what they preach or practice what you preach.
I now remember the notion that you had.
Because you're calling them a hypocrite. That's the idiom's
it's an accusation.
Yeah, it's accusatory. It's a negative. It's well, practice what you preach. When you use the definition of practice as that it's a thing that you do. Oh shit. The movie's starting.
The movie is starting.
Oh shit.
Oh,
we gotta
shit.
we gotta put like the fucking turn the car on. We gotta put the radio
Okay,
on
we
and
gotta
shit.
turn-
We're missing the previews.
Well, no, hang on. Ah, wait.
We gotta. Oh god, this is tune it. Okay, 89 2.
Is it 89.2?
It won't go to
Wait,
89
why would it go to 2?
Oh no, is this the movie? That's it. Wait, that was it. You were there. That's it.
89.9. What the hell is this?
Wait, is that somebody else? That's their movie.
Oh, what movie is this? Look at the paper.
The paper's in the floor.
Let yourself be
That's it.
Okay. So what are we gonna do here?
She wasn't conceived.
I can't even see.
Okay, we're gonna have to stop the podcast
We're gonna
and
pause
watch the movie.
and we're gonna watch the movie, and then we'll tell you how it is, folks.
Good morning, babe.
Good morning, babe.
The drive-in was pretty crazy
It was a
because
nightmare. It was a nightmare. I don't understand why that was so much more difficult this time than it was the last time we did the drive-in.
we had double the gear.
Oh, well, that would explain it. We're going to do these spoiler-free because these people out there in podcast land, down in podcast land,
No. We're not going to keep turning everything into a song
I'm sorry. Have I been doing that?
all morning.
You said it was like the Buffy episode, Once More with Feeling.
It was like I woke up in a musical this morning. And I don't like it.
Great getting up morning. All right.
Okay,
so,
sing that.
a great getting up morning. There won't be no warning. Jesus comes again. You won't bring a friend.
Okay, and that's the last time you're ever going to sing that. Okay, you religious freak. No more singing.
I was saying spoiler free. And Tracy was like, no,
I'm not doing that.
I want to do spoilers. Folks, we're going to spoil this like milk that's about to become Limburger. Get ready.
I need to be able to say the things that I liked and didn't like.
So the first movie was The First Omen,
Mm-hmm.
which we missed the first 20 seconds of it.
Because we were not ready.
We were not ready. We got no previews. Thank you, Warwick Drive-In. 0 previews. There was like a famous actor who played in that first scene. I forget.
Charles Dance.
So great.
The back of his head gets sliced off.
Great cast of this movie, I gotta say.
It was.
Great cast. It looked fantastic.
It was very beautiful.
It was like, it's all set in like 1971 in Italy.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is sort of like, there's huge upheaval, which adds to it. It's happening in this orphanage, which is kind of like a monastery, but they're cool nuns. They're not like,
until they lock you in the bad room.
Well, yeah. Until you get locked in the bad room. I mean, everybody's cool until you get locked in the bad room. Anybody who's seen the like super fucked up movie Possession, there was a whole scene that was like, oh man, she's going all possession on this. This is cool. Serious Rosemary's Baby action.
And it wasn't scary.
It was a little bit of body horror. There were some like, monsters and hands coming out of vaginas and things like that. Yeah.
The jackal, the guy the thing that impregnates everybody, that was very much Jacob's Ladder.
Yeah, there was some Jacob's Ladder to it.
She's like having sex with the thing.
Yeah. The only thing is that they're setting up a franchise.
I mean, it was already a franchise, so it stands to reason it's going to continue to be one.
They had Gregory Peck's picture in the movie. So you're not going to, you're going to have another Gregory Peck?
No, they had folders of like 13 other babies.
Right.
That they had tried to create the Antichrist with, who were all girls.
Right.
And there's a twin at the end of this one.
And I think the best idea they had is that the Catholic Church actually purposefully is trying to create the Antichrist.
To make people come back to the church.
To come back to God.
It's the dumbest thing.
But it's exactly the kind of thing religious people think. Which is, you've got to have, a villain. It wasn't scary.
It wasn't scary.
Yeah.
The evil being all man-made. Being all controlled by man.
Okay.
Just gave it no stakes.
You know what I just thought of?
What?
Whenever you watch the original Omen and people get killed in the original Omen, remember the thing that they would see their picture and they would see how they were going to die?
Oh, yeah,
in the
yeah.
picture? Great idea. It was so Final Destination. There would be something that like a break would like, and then the glass would come and it would cut David Warner's head off. I never made that connection that's basically what Final Destination is. It's the Omen without the devil.
Yeah. Good point. Good point.
Like what's a movie to you that is scary?
The Exorcist.
Okay. Yes. The Exorcist is scary. They did like a study of this and statistically and the way that people reacted to the movie and everything, what the scariest movie of all time is.
I've heard this.
Yes.
But I don't remember what it was.
Sinister.
Right. And that is scary.
That is a very scary movie.
There's a thing that I do enjoy, though, other than feeling scary, is unnerving.
Unnerving.
That's a lovely state to be in where you're unnerved. But I mean, honestly, as I've gotten older and as I have healed some of my trauma,
right,
it's harder.
It's hard to unnerve you?
No, it's harder to watch scary things.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so okay.
The little girl who's like, seems evil, she is the sister of this character they brought from America to be a nun here.
Right.
She immediately connects with this little evil girl.
Right. And
doesn't think she's evil and has an understanding of what she's going through because she was similarly tortured, by visions and things as a child. And we find out, well, no, duh. Like we don't need to see the files and see the missing picture and see that you're the baby in the missing picture.
Right. So
we know this.
So you end up with 2 offspring of
the devil.
And then she has 2 more. There's so many devil offspring around. Oh my God.
The little girl who's evil at the nunnery, she's too young to birth the devil. So
the devil would care.
So they bring the adult daughter there.
Right.
Because they believe that the Antichrist is created through incest. So you believe in incest, but you don't believe in having sex with this 13-year-old girl. The devil isn't very scary. He has a very strict moral code, evidently. That's not scary. No, you can't have sex with this girl. It's very inappropriate.
Yes.
And it would probably get you canceled.
Yes, exactly. The devil is afraid of
getting canceled. Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't think he's the devil then.
Yeah. I would agree. I would agree.
And where's that conversation?
Some of that plot got
ridiculous. We never heard conversations with any of the evil nuns and priests.
Right.
We never understood the depth of their belief or what they were willing to do or how they were doing any of this.
Right.
The process of how did they summon the jackal? That could have been scary.
Yeah, that's true.
Because Catholic and nun and priest ritual is scary.
Actually, that was some of the scary stuff in the movie where there was a whole scene where it's the marriage to Christ that a nun does. And it looked totally legit, and it looked creepy.
Hello,
she's in a white dress, and she gets a ring, and the whole thing, man. Oh, such a creepy thing.
That's the Nun 2. The Nun 2 already did all of that.
Yeah,
and I think the Nun 2, honestly, worst movie, but better at that. The Nun 2 had some good scares, but they were all based on, she's in front of me, she's behind me, she's in front of me, she's behind me. She's in front of me. Nope, she was behind me. They did that 30 times.
We are tough to please. It was a devil double feature.
Yep.
Late Night with the Devil. That movie was fun.
It was way more entertaining.
It was so fun.
Not scary.
Not scary.
No.
But I think it was trying to be funnier. I think it was more of a satire.
The guy's like a talk show host, right?
Right. From the He's
From the
basically
70s.
right. He is in competition with Johnny Carson.
Yeah.
And it's like 1977 at this point.
Yeah. And he's like, his show is not doing as well.
Mm-hmm. And they set it up really, really well with kind of this faux documentary that's being done.
His wife died of cancer, and now he's back.
It's Halloween night.
And he's going to put on a big show.
Big Halloween show with like a psychic and then a skeptic and a really cool like psychologist doctor, like totally from the 70s, who is studying this girl who is
possessed by this Abraxas.
Abraxas, which sounds like a cleaning product. Use Abraxas on your
Have you had
stains.
your Abraxas today?
Exactly.
Creepy things happen, but there was this thing where the studio audience was quiet and he was talking, and there were kind of runs of things that had no sound to them. Mm-hmm. No atmospheric sound.
Right.
You know, like no rustling or coughing, or I just felt like as far as the audio went, it was a little dead at times.
Okay.
Like, you know, between claps and between music of the show, there wasn't really any music.
Right.
There wasn't any atmosphere.
I didn't recognize really anybody from the film. I mean,
the lead guy.
The lead guy I've seen in like, he's a character actor. I mean, this is by far the biggest thing he's ever done.
Yeah.
You know,
he's never been a lead.
Yeah, he's never been a lead. And he was great. And everybody in it had that vibe, had that 70s, like weird, like kind of hokey, but also like, you know, might be sacrificing goats, you know, after the show vibe. I mean, they all had that.
Yeah. I mean, you know, everything was solid.
Mm-hmm.
It just was not scary.
It was not scary, but it was fun, well worth watching. And I mean, I was just impressed with it as a concept. It reminded me very much of like an expanded version. Anybody who's ever seen the sort of the VHS, like short anthologies.
Right.
Like a much larger version.
It could have been
a short.
A 30-minute film.
It could have been. They didn't bore me, the fact that it was expanded.
No.
The only thing is that after the big crazy stuff happens, he goes into this kind of
weird fugue state.
Like almost like he's entered hell and he's being shown like his sins or something like that.
I think it would have been better if he would have just woken up the next morning and like he would have been having to go through those things, but in a way that wasn't just a smash up for the audience. It was like, oh, we thought all this shit was really happening to him.
Right.
And then he wakes up on the stage and he's killed everybody.
Spoiler alert. You know what?
He killed everybody.
Say the thing and then say spoiler alert at the after it.
We said at the top this was a spoiler alert. I don't know why you're resistant to that.
I'm so resistant to this.
Why?
Because what if I was listening to the show? Oh, I love Jon and Tracy. Oh, there's like, no! People are going to feel like we have ruined these two films for them.
But they weren't that good.
Well,
I didn't ruin anything. You weren't going to get scared.
This is the thing. If the films were better, you wouldn't be spoiling them.
No, I wouldn't.
Exterior, Ian Solange's flying vehicle day. Ian Solange is high above the city being flown to his corporate headquarters. He takes a small metal disc from his bag and places it magnetically against the skin of his collarbone. He sees a digital dashboard and begins scrolling through the latest press, which is all reflecting that the countdown is getting near.
He clicks through cover story after cover story that show this is the month before the launches begin. His flying car gets lower and lower and lands on top of the Origian headquarters.
Exterior, Origian's roof, day. Celia, the publicist, comes out to greet Ian as he's getting out.
Here's the report on the last flight.
I'll take a look at it, but what's the gist?
Everyone's final training flight went perfectly, but Matthew experienced some discomfort in low Earth orbit.
What kind of discomfort?
Dizziness, disorientation, vomiting.
Have we determined the cause?
They're doing blood work now. Also, Emmeline has an issue. She insists on talking to you alone.
Is that in the report?
Yes, sir.
Anyone else have any trouble?
Everyone else was 100%. I think we're ready.
From your mouth to the god's ears. They walk inside. Interior medical lab, day. About 5 people are standing in line wearing what looks like a tight astronaut's uniform. They are waiting to give blood. Each cadet places their arm inside a ring and samples are taken automatically. Emmeline is standing right behind Matthew.
Are you okay?
I'm so stupid.
You're not stupid. You just don't feel good. The doctors will help you feel better.
I get sick all over my uniform. I'm so stupid. It was like I was spinning 1,000 miles an hour. Everyone else having fun, and I just felt awful.
I don't think I was having fun.
Matthew takes his turn and inserts his arm into the ring. He goes over and splays down in a chair, sulking. Emmeline goes through the same procedure. As she walks over to sit next to her friend, she notices blood squirting down his arm. She points at it. This is too much for Matthew, who starts to moan like a wounded animal and goes into a fit.
Emmeline comes over to him and places her hand on the incision to stop the bleeding. Matthew looks at her and calms down as their eyes connect. You were gone yesterday, and I, shouldn't have watched this without you, but I did.
That's fine.
I watched Zone of Interest.
Zone of Interest.
And when you found out, you were very gracious and you didn't get on to me.
No, it's fine.
And you were just like, well, now that you've watched all of them.
Spoiler alert, they're at Auschwitz.
Right. Now that you've watched all of them, which movie should have won the Academy Award? And I said Anatomy of a Fall. Duh. I mean, I knew that from the get-go.
Right.
But Zone of Interest, there were some very interesting things that I'm looking forward to experiencing with you. The movie starts with 4.5 minutes of black and just music. The whole movie, the way that it's shot, like not a movie. It's shot like glimpses into people's normal life.
Right.
There's a lot of time where people are just doing tasks.
Right.
Looking at things, just kind of living.
Right.
But punctuated by really great things. And it almost creates a space where you should be watching it with another person so that you can talk about the horrible thing that they were doing or seeing or, whatever.
Right.
Or that you were experiencing.
Well, that's what you said. You said that there wasn't enough dialogue to fill the space, that it's almost like you can fill the space with your own dialogue.
Yeah, it's like the movie gives you time to have reflection upon all of it. And I remember when your brother saw it, he said, please somebody else watch this because I can't wait to talk to somebody about it. And I actually feel like that maybe they meant to do that because it's so prevalent when you're watching it.
Right.
Your need to say something.
Right.
Because they give you that space. And also, I hope that's true. I hope that was meant to be that way because that is what they created.
Right.
And also they created tones, like frequency instead of necessarily music. A lot of people were talking about like the sound design of like the screams and stuff in the background and gunshots all the time and stuff like that. Yeah, sure. I thought all that stuff could have been a little louder. Like it was maybe 2 dB, too quiet. The frequency of the music was used. And I feel like in the movie that we're going to be making soon, I really want to explore music as frequency. Okay. I really liked that.
Right.
Because just the undertone of like the way the ovens rumble. It reminded me of like the earthquake and the way the world sounded outside. That it's like a frequency, not a music, not anything other than, and how you could set up an audience to feel a certain way, even if it were maybe counter to what they should be feeling.
Well,
by using different frequencies.
There's a whole YouTube channel that you sometimes listen to where it's like healing tones.
Well, no, I mean, I listen to solfeggio tones and I mean, there's like the tuning forks you can use
Right. So I mean,
there's like the bowls you can use.
I think that's interesting in relation to the way that some tones could heal, other tones could, sort of unnerve you or shake you or, hurt you, or whatever. I think that would be,
I always think of like, as a kid, there was like the brown tone.
You remember that one? No, we don't want to make you poop, folks.
The tone that if it got hit, immediately you would poop.
You would just immediately just shat yourself.
Yeah. You're really going to want to talk to somebody about it.
Right.
So watch it with someone.
And I would recommend both films. I think the First Omen it was much better than I was expecting it to be. Usually these kind of prequel things or reimagining things.
What was that? Talk to Me. Talk to Me had far more creepy scenes in it.
Talk to Me was disturbing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hopefully
that was
we
disturbing.
can. Yeah. I mean, Talk to Me. It's free now too.
Right.
It's on some channel.
Right. Yeah. It was like a year ago or something like that. Talk to Me.
Yeah, but Talk to Me was pretty good. It was also body horror.
Yeah, a little bit.
I had my issues with like
some of the logic of it. Yeah.
Yeah, the logic of it was falling apart for me.
But it I guess the question is, what is being scared? Is that scared or?
Well, different people are going to get scared by different things.
Right.
But like, I know now, yeah, like things that scare me are the tension that's built.
Right. Well, I think Hereditary really scares you because
I don't find that scary
everything
at all.
is so awful in that movie.
I did
And
not. I was
everything
not
that happens
scared
in
by
that movie is
Hereditary.
well, you're wrong.
No, and that's just as stupid because how in the hell is this cult so fucking smart?
Do not go in. We cannot go into another movie. We're going to end this podcast. This is an endless podcast because we're talking about scary movies and we love them.
All right.
It's hard not to get romantic about movies. Thanks for listening to Married to Movies. Jon and Tracy will meet you for breakfast tomorrow.